For today's daily quest, we're going to once again look at how to find the area of a trapezoid using all three strategies. And the first strategy is breaking it up into shapes. And the shapes that we try to break it up into are a triangle, a rectangle, and another triangle. So let's draw our trapezoid here. And we're going to break it up right away. Triangle, rectangle, and triangle. To find the area, we need to break apart our shapes into the pieces that matter, okay? So, our length of this rectangle is 21, no matter what. And the full length from here to here is 41. Well, I know that 10 plus 21 plus 10 again is equal to 41. Therefore, that must be that length. And the height must be 18 because it was right there. Now we just have to find the area of each piece, and we add them all up. This triangle, we're going to do 10 times 18, which is 180, divided by 2 is 90. If this triangle is 90, this triangle has to also be 90. So now we have to find the area of the rectangle in the middle, which is 18 by 21. For a rectangle, you simply do 18 times 21, and we get 378 square units. So now I add those three together, and I get the area of 558, as my friend 50 Cent would say. And once again, we're going to do square units. Let's do the other two methods. For method 2, we are doing the parallelogram method, or we're breaking it up, or we're changing this into a rectangle or a parallelogram. So our goal is, when we are done, that it looks like this, okay? And if we think about our shapes from before, we would move this triangle here. If we cut this straight down, we'd move it over here and create the rectangle, okay? Well, we know that this length up here has to be 21 and the height has to be 18. From our last problem, whoops, that was the wrong one. From our last problem here, the length of the triangle had to be 10. So we're going to do 21 plus 10, which is 31. 31 times 18. Let's get a calculator out here just to double check. Wouldn't you know it? It's 558 square units, which is exactly what we wanted. We have one more problem left. The final method is using the traditional algorithm, which for the area of a trapezoid is equal to the average of the bases times the height of the entire trapezoid. Well, we know that the two bases are 21 and 41. And so if we're doing the average of 21 and 41, the two ways to think of that are either what number is halfway between 21 and 41 on a number line, or you could do 21 plus 41 and divide that answer by 2. Well, either way, you are going to get an average of 31. And we take that times our height of our trapezoid, which is 18. And once again, we should get 558 square units. And once again, we've talked about this a little bit before. We should notice that on method 2 and method 3, the last step before we're done ends up being the same on both. And that is not an accident. Let's do our last problem of the day. A rectangle has an area of 24 square meters and a perimeter of 50 meters. What are the dimensions of this rectangle? Well, part 1 says, what are all of the ways you can make a rectangle with an area of 24 square meters? So if we need the area to be 24 square meters, there are a couple ways that we can achieve that. We could do 1 times 24. That would obviously work. We could do 2 times 12, 3 times 8, or 4 times 6. For these problems, if we then have to find the perimeter, the way that I'm going to find the perimeter today is I'm going to do this number plus this number, because those are 2 of the sides of the rectangle, and I'm going to double it because there are always 2 extra sides. So I'm going to do 10 times 2, which gives us a perimeter of 20 for the bottom one. That is not correct. For the next one, I'm going to do 11, because that's 3 plus 8 times 2, giving me a perimeter of 22, which is also not correct as well. Our next one, I'm going to do 14 times 2, which gives me a perimeter of 28, also is not our 50. But our last one, I'm going to do 25 times 2, which is equal to 50. And that is our correct answer. Therefore, what are the dimensions of this rectangle? This is a 1 unit by 24 units rectangle. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know.